the first thing to try and do, this comes back to trying to create an ideal culture really, is that you're having regular and meaningful conversations with your team members about what matters to them and what matters to the business. Now, I think the worst thing that can happen in an organization is someone comes to you, and let's say you've got to give 2 weeks notice or a month's notice, is that your employee comes to you and says, hey, Dan, look, I found this other thing that I'm really excited by, and it could be study, it could be another job, it could be a transfer inside the business, but it could be just something else. Yeah. And they go, so I just want to let you know I'm giving you my notice. And then as you say, it's like, holy moly, I've got to start the recruitment process in, right? So to my way of thinking, that's the last thing that you want. So what's preferable to that? What you really want is to have a kind of relationship with your team members. And I know, listening to, some of your earlier podcasts, you talked a lot about relationships, and I absolutely support that, because you want people to come to you and say, hey, Dan, I'm starting to get a bit tired of what I'm doing, or I'm looking for a new challenge. There's something else I'd like to be doing. Now, I don't want to throw the towel in here, but I would like to do something else. And so let's talk about that. So you have that kind of conversation. Now, maybe you can help them. Maybe that can come within the function they work in. It might be able to be done in their company, or it may not. But in the end, if you can find a way through that, then great. If you can't, then you can say, okay, look, James, I think we've explored it, and by the sound of things, it's not gonna meet what you're after. Let's plan for your transition out of here, and let's start looking for your replacement. So you work together, so the person can leave. You can hire someone else who's great in there, and you're not stuck in this, oh my God, we're going to be short. Person's going to leave. We'll have to cover the job, get a casual, whatever,
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing is in your hiring practice is actually your exit practice.
Yeah,
is
retention.
Yes, having that relationship with people where you can have those conversations and encouraging them. So look, if ever you feel like you've had enough or this isn't right for you anymore, please come and talk to me. Just don't give me your resignation. No.
Yeah. And I suppose if you do need to go outside, and that fails, like what's would you see sort of best practice for a senior leadership role, a pivotal leadership role within a small and medium business?
One of the things that we've done in the past is to have a panel of people who you might have pre-qualified. So let's say you've got a job within your business that's quite important. It doesn't have to be a senior leadership one. It can just be a really important role. And it's not to say that all roles aren't important in some way, but some roles you might have multiple of, and others you may not, is to have ready candidates for those jobs before you've got a vacancy. So sometimes it's referred to as forward staffing. So you might carry out a recruitment activity inside your business or outside your business for a particular role. Now, there's someone in the job right now, and that's fine. But at some point there'll be a transition out. Strong believer of hiring from within. So ideally, you're looking to develop people inside for that job. So you call for applications, people apply, you do your selection process, and you go, great, we've got 3 people who right now could probably jump into that job if that person left, and 2 who don't meet the standard yet. And we've given them feedback about that and told them what they can do to develop themselves.
This is the plan.
This is the plan for you. So then they work on that. Now, assuming that's working for you, but you've got no one who's ready right now and you have to go outside the business. Well, as a business leader, that's when really you want to be having conversations, I think, quite regularly with people who are in your industry who trust and have built relationships who you could then find from outside to come and join your business. So, because I think it's very hard to get it right just out of a pure hiring process where you like stick an ad in the paper and go that way, So I think a lot of people would say some of their best hires have been people that have been close to the business. They've known, they might have been a client of the business. They've got to know them and see them for who they are as a person rather than the person that has to show up in a structured formal interview environment.
You meet them a couple of times,
Yeah, so it's not so much about the who kind of thing. That yes, there's some of that, but it's really you've had a connection with those people, you've seen them, you've known them. And then, having that opportunity to get them to come in and spend time in your business before they're offered the job. So in roles, come and spend a day with us. We'll give you some real work to do. Check out, meet the team, get the feedback from the team.
Yeah, okay.
So there are means that we've used in the past for roles like where you would do that and then say, well, hey team, what did you think? Do you think they're going to be a good fit for our team? What did you think of the skills? What do you think of the work we asked them to do? Was it of a good standard? Did they show some application?
Well, you're getting their buy-in too, for if it does eventuate, which you hope it would if you're getting to that point, but you're getting their buy-in that they're going to support them and be invested in seeing them do well as well, right?
Yep, and then we get feedback from the candidate because it's it's a two-way street, like you say. They might look at that and say, so is what you've given me a pretty good sample of the kind of thing I'll be doing? Yes, it is. Okay, that's great.
Is this for me? Yeah.
Or maybe it's not for me, you know. So you really I think you want people to feel like they're just as in a position of choice, instead of saying, well, you know what, you've really showed me what I'm in for, and I really like that, or I'm not sure it's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
And that's good too. Yeah. It's a good outcome.
That leap of starting a new job, am I going to like this? There's a bit going through the mind, isn't there?
There is, but no system is foolproof. And so once on board, some of the things that we would do would be meet with them every month, talk about the goals and expectations that are set for that month, review that performance, and then give them some feedback, and then ask them for their feedback, and then go on to the second month. One of the things that we did and innovated around was to say, okay, at the 3-month and the 5-month mark, there'll be a feedback meeting with the managing director or the CEO or whatever, the most senior person in your business, and that'll be, so let's say I hired the person, that'll be me sitting down with the managing director or the CEO, and we'll have a conversation, and they'll ask me the question, so James, you've hired this person, you're 3 months in, tell me how you're feeling about how they're going. Honest conversation, you know. How they're going, how they're tracking, are they showing the capability and the performance you expected, yes, no, or what have you. Okay, good check-in. And then come month 5, that's the more serious one. And I say month 5, not month 6, because in Australia and Western Australia, there's a probation period, a protected employment period of 6 months. And beyond that, it becomes more difficult from a procedural fairness point of view around terminations. And so you want to really, and to be fair to the individual, you don't want to be finding out on the last day of your probationary period that you didn't meet the requirements. That's not fair to people either. So, so you really want to have that conversation and make sure you've taken care of that. And so, we'd sit down, and the kind of thing we'd be talking about is, okay, so are you happy to recommend that this person proceeds? And do you believe that they will still be a great contributor to this business in 5 years' time? So not just for what they're doing now and what they're just doing in your function. Do you see them being a great contributor to this business in 5 years' time? And if the answer to that was, I'm not really sure, well, then the answer was no.
No, okay. Yeah.
So, things like that I think really, really helped us to make sure that we were being fair to people and getting the right people in the business.
Yeah. So lots of proactive, planned, and I suppose some high standards there in regards to, 5 years, no, I don't think they'll make it that far. Well, what are we doing then?
Yeah. Because, our view was we wanted people for the long term, and we've got a lot of people who are working in that business for a long term.
Yeah.